Hey everybody, this is David at Barnyard Bees. This is another little update on this little swarm right here that it's like it's continued to increase. And like I said, that's how swarms go sometimes. They combine. And do you see anything in particular that sticks out here on this box, anywhere around this box? See how here's another sign too. When you see them falling short of the hive and you see bees on the ground, that's typical of swarms coming in, because the bees are confused. For one thing, they don't know where the queen's at, so they fall short. They're looking for the queen, and not sure, but don't that look kind of suspicious right here? This little ball of bees. See if we can scoop it up. That's the size of a golf ball. They're holding that ball together pretty good for some reason. Look, you could probably roll it down the bee yard. Look at that. They're sure holding it together good. Now, not saying I'll get this open up and there'll be a queen in there they're killing too. I mean, it's possible, because like I said, when they go taking up a residency, right there's a queen right there. See her? Right there. Queen in hand. So, now, the best thing would be to do would be to put her in a cage and then go through this. There's way too many bees in here for a 2-frame. I turned that one that was sitting here on the ground upside down because it was packed full of bees. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to put one of my 2-framers here, set this to the side, and start transferring over these bees. Watch how they're fanning. I spread them out, and they're fanning. I lost track of her because I was looking down. So she walked to the other side. She's probably right there in this. She's there somewhere. But anyway, I'm going to put it on pause and put her in a cage. Okay, I caught her and put her in a cage. And now I'm going to set this down to the side. And I'm going to slowly go through it looking. I do have a queen excluder right here if I need it, that I can also search and see if there's other queens. So that's what I'll do. I'll set that to the side and put my 5-framer there and start going through it. Okay, let me show you what I got here. I couldn't get it on camera. What I did, I set that box down, and when I pulled the top box off, it was just literally packed full of bees, and they fell, and as soon as they hit the ground, I seen the tail of a queen wiggle amongst all the workers, and I reached down, grabbed the scoop of bees up real fast, and I went ahead and dropped her straight into the hive. So she's in there. Now before that, what I did, see that queen right there, of course the cage is upside down because I was one-handed, and she's in there, the one that I originally caught to begin with. It was in that little ball on the front. So I reached in there, grabbed her back out of the 5-frame nuke because I was going to put her in there, but I knew there was more than likely more than one. So, and I'm still looking for more here. Any, funny signs like right here? See that right here? Not sure, but I'll investigate it and look. May not be. One just got me on the finger. Let's see. Usually when they start, yeah, right there. See her tail sticking up? Right there's another one. But keep in mind, at this time, once they get close to the hive, they will start balling them. So they will start killing these queens. So I gotta grab her and rescue her. And let me set this box down a little bit. Let's take her over here where I can see her. Put her right on that. That one got me right there on the finger. Nature of the job. Okay. I dropped her on this excluder. She can't get down through it. See how they're attacking her? That's just the nature of it. That's just how it goes. When these swarms combine, they're only going to let one queen live. Now, if she gets opportunity, she'll fly off. So I'm going to try to keep her in my hand right here. So then, let me get another cage and I'll be right back. Okay, there she is. There's 2 queens. Now, let's see what this disturbance is right here. They're congregated on the ground. They're not flying away from it. There's always a reason. Now, I'm not saying she's in there, but if she's might have been there. Just move them around here. Right there's another one. See her? Hope I got that on camera right there. There's another one. Okay, that's 3. 3 queens. And I can assure you, before people even comment, no, these aren't virgin queens. The original queen swarms out with the colony. These are combined swarms. I've seen this over and over and over again. And when I take these queens and I put them in their own colony, they start laying immediately. So they wasn't quite as aggressive to this one. But it seems like once they get close to their destination is when they start killing the queen. So right there's 3. So let me put it on pause. Let me put her in the cage. Okay, there's 3. Let's investigate look a little bit more. If you're just looking for clusters of bees. Now if you remember this video, I'll probably just tag it all together. This yesterday I found yesterday. So that's what's took place yesterday, but like I said, it looked like more bees were flying in, so that should have been. Now they are paying a lot of attention here, but they don't mean anything. Let's see. Just because I dropped an old feeder here that had some old sugar water in it. I don't really see any like ball or cluster. Now, right over there is where I grabbed that last queen. Now see how they're still balled there? Because her pheromone is still there. So that's why they're still there. Now honestly, the queen that I dropped in the hive, I really should have put her in the cage too, because what I believe is once you get one in there and you get any that's even close to it, they start balling them up. And that's why the ones on the ground over here, some of them didn't look like it was as aggressive to them as, because I think they fan the pheromone showing that their queen is in the home and everything else. I think they signal to exterminate the rest. And they do exterminate the rest. I've seen it many times. Let's see, there's a little cluster right here. Look out and got me. Okay, I don't see anything there. They're still smelling this pheromone over here. I'll look just to be sure. To make sure that there's not another. Right there's another one. I think I'm too late on her. Look. See how she's being attacked right there? See the stinger? She's gone. It's too late on her. That's how it goes with these swarms is, and people don't realize. They get these big swarms and they said, I caught the queen. Here's what happens to the rest of the queens, and people just don't realize it. That is what happens right there. See? She's dead. That queen's gone. So that would have been 5. We put one, I drop one in the hive. I got 3 caged and that one. Now see, these wasn't even close to the hive, but I'm telling you, when they signal, they put a signal out to the colony, and that's when they go ahead. Right here's another dead queen. Look here, and look. She's marked. She's a marked queen. So one of the colonies that swarmed had a marked queen in it. So right there. So there's another one. So there's 6 queens right there. You got it when you got to work really fast on these things, because they exterminate those queens fast. Okay, they're starting to disperse here a little bit, so you can tell there's probably nothing else here that I can see. Okay, so we'll turn my attention over here a little bit. Just looking around. Okay, what's this? Thought I seen a green dot, but I'm not sure. Let's see. They're balled up something here. Right here's a green. Look here. That right there, if that don't prove to you right there, new beekeepers or any beekeepers, right there is another marked queen. So do you think that come out of the same colony? Okay, let me put it on pause. She's still good. Let me show you a little trick here. If you ever catch a queen, I got her in my hand right here. I'm trying this with the camera, so it's going to be a little bit awkward here for a second. I'll have to edit out some of this. Okay, I can catch this. Okay, see what I did? I'm going to let her walk in the cage. May take her a second. There she goes, right there. See how she walked? So, right here's our marked queen. Got her in the cage. And let me put it on pause and get a cork on the other end of it. Okay. Right there's one marked queen. We got a marked queen right here as well. That was dead. So far what I found, 2 dead ones. One I put in the 5 frame, and 4 extra. That's 7 so far. And those of you that says that it's just a bunch of virgin queens, how do you get 2 marked virgin queens? I've seen this many times, and as soon as I put these in a hive, they'll start laying immediately. They are not virgin queens, I can assure you. I'm speaking from experience, because I see this all the time. And that right there, if they don't prove that to you about the marked queens, then nothing will, because that's proof. And I'm still looking around, just looking. There was probably many more. There's hard to tell how many swarmed. And it's hard to look one-handed, but I'm trying to get this all on video so you can see it and that you'll believe it. So I'm gonna set this box down. Let's see. I'm gonna look. I don't see anything in there. Set out here where the sun can. This was just a little reminder. Those that didn't see, this was just an old box. I was doing a change out, so I just had it leaned up against the other 2-frame nuke, and the swarms kept coming in. Let's see. I don't see anything suspicious there. Let me move my two queens here, my two dead queens, so I can show you, so I can. I'll put them right here where I won't lose them. We'll come back to those in a little bit. See what else we got in this box. As soon as I flipped it over, and that's not always the case that there's a ball, but you just gotta look. And most people, when they shake swarms, they just don't look. Okay, what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna shake this out on the ground right here in front of the hive, and then I'm gonna grab the camera fast again and see if we can find some more queens here and see what we got. Okay, I shook it right here on the ground right in front of my nook, and I didn't get all the bees out. There were still a few in here. I'll have to keep an eye on those. And see, this is what when you shake a swarm, and if you want to, most people when they shake a swarm, they shake it straight in a box. And a lot of times, that's all you can do. And I mean, that's what I do a lot of times. But if you can get the opportunity to get down low to the ground where you can shake them on the ground and then keep an eye out, you can pick those queens out, just like we did here. And luckily, this was swarms that come in from different colonies. I'm just kind of watching, and the bees are confused too, because they don't know really where to go. Some of them are trying to congregate over here. So I'm going to have to try to dump some of these boxes out a little bit better and move these boxes completely out of the area. Well, what I've done, there's a lot of bees, and I need to use up those queens. So what I did, I put a queen in a nuke box, in a 5-frame nuke, and I let a lot of those bees run in. This is one that I just had sold. One that I had went into another colony and put 1 frame of bees as seed to regrowth. So what I did, I went ahead and just put one of those queens down in the box, and I let that box fill up, see how they're marching in over here. And while they're marching in, I'll try to keep an eye out for another queen. So I let them fill up with a lot of bees, and then I moved that box over on the stand, and that'll take care of a lot of that population. Because and I'm afraid one of these swarms may actually come from one of my big honey producers up there, but I'm not sure, because there was, well, like we counted here, 7 or 8 queens. I done lost count 7, I think. And so if there was 7, then that would definitely account for 7 of my nukes. So hopefully, because I've been keeping up on those my little honey producers up there, on the only ones I got in the yard, in this yard. So I've been keeping supers added as they're needed up there. So I don't think it was those. So it was just, once, like I said and talked about before, these swarms will trigger other swarms. It happens in big bee yards like this. You know, right here in this right here, there's 240 active nukes right here. The majority of them has bees. There's just maybe 20 at the most probably that doesn't have bees. So when those swarms fly around, they absolutely trigger these other swarms. Now, I know this doesn't happen in the wild like this because you don't have colony after colony after colony. It's a different scenario. When you're operating in a big bee yard, it's completely different than what it would be bees in the wild, or even somebody that has 2, 3, 4, 5 hives. It's different, this scenario, because you got all these colonies, and those bees will fly around and trigger other colonies to swarm. It just happens. It happens all the time. Okay, I got some things moved around here. Now, if you remember the feeder that was sitting right here, a lot of bees on it. They're paying a lot of attention to it. And I dumped it out. Let's look. Remember, we found 7 queens. And over here on this excluder, I shook. See how the bees are going back in this hive here. So we've evened these out now in 3 different colonies. I shook all these bees here that was on that feeder on top of this excluder. And if you can see, there's something going on right there, right? Something. Let's see what we can find here. Right there's the queen. Look at her. She's trying to get down in between the excluder and she can't. So that is queen number 8. Right there she is. Queen number 8. They was congregated on that feeder for a reason, not because they was hungry. So, and look at the size of that queen. That's not the size of a virgin queen. Look at her thorax and her abdomen. Look at her. Look how the girth of her head and her everything is huge. She is absolutely a mated queen. So let me put it on pause and get her in a cage. And there she is. That's queen number 8. I think I counted that correctly. I'm sure you'll go back, people can go back and look and count, but we had, was there 2 dead? Found 2 dead. And I had 4 in a cage. I put a couple in already. So I'm almost positive this is number 8. And look how immediately they went on this queen right here on top of that cage. Now, there was a lot of bees ended up in this swarm, quite a few. So what I end up doing, you know, and keep in mind, those things were going in to pack out a 2-framer. Of all things, a 2-framer. But I can assure you too, the original swarm that picked this was probably much smaller, and the size of this swarm grew and grew and grew, and next thing you know, they're all congregated into one big area like that. So, and I'm still seeing little balls of bees, and I'll investigate and see. They're acting awful funny right here. Might be a dead one. Right there. Okay. There we go. There's another one. But this one is dead. I'll get on focus on it. If I can get the bees off of it, it's not going to hurt her now because she's done. She's absolutely dead. Okay. Right there. They exterminated her. Look, even she's dead. And look at the bee. If I can get focused in on it. Look at the bee. It's obvious right there. See how she's in that position right there with her abdomen, with her tail curled in aggressive position. So if I'm counting right, and I'm almost positive that would have been queen number 9. Now, right there's where they was in that little ball, and they'll be there for a while because they still smell that pheromone. That's how sometimes you can uncover a spot like that and there just won't be anything there. because she may have been there, but her pheromone's still there, and that's what they smell. So that would have been queen number 9 in one swarm. And no, they wasn't virgin queens. So I'm still looking around just to be sure, because we come up on a pretty good find right here to share with everyone, because most of the time stuff like this never gets shared. So basically, once we got all the queens out, you don't really see any more bees blowing up too much, and who knows how many I missed. I mean, if I found 9, how many more was there altogether? They're marching in this hive here, so we got, end up being, look how they're still aggressively attacking that dead queen. And then we got a queen in this box here. Now what I did too, I actually physically put a queen in here. I let her walk in, and I also put one in a cage, because I'm thinking they may have killed her, or that could have been a possibility of one of these out here on the ground again. So, but still, if that was the case, it was still 8 queens. So the bees started acting a little bit funny inside. You just got to kind of understand how they move around, how they work. They looked disoriented. They didn't look like they was too flighty and noisy. So I went ahead and put a queen in there in a cage. They can't get her out, and I'll go back in a couple of days and look and see if I was right, and see if the other queen, if she's not laid, then, you know, pretty good chance that they either balled her or she flew out or whatever. But so that's one colony. So we end up making this colony, and there's the other queen. We got a spare queen, and we got this one right here that I moved. You can see there's quite a few bees here. And then this one right here. Not quite as many, but still a pretty good bit. So that leaves me with one extra queen. I believe there was 4 dead, and 1 in the cage, and maybe 1 more in there. I'm not sure. We'll keep an eye on that. So if that is the case, so 2 there. You got 1 here, which is 3, 4, 5, and should have been, from what best I remember, 3 or 4 dead. So that would have meant 8 or 9, and I'm pretty sure there was 9. So in one swarm, that's quite a bit. So we'll go ahead and wrap this up. There's really nothing more to talk about. We're just gonna, and just a little reminder, people, about your queens here. They wasn't going aggressively after this one right here. They was pretty gentle. You don't see these balled up on her like they was on the one that we just encountered there on top. They've already dragged her to the ground over there. Now I can see she's not even on top anymore. And see how they're coming to this cage? I could actually hang this one up in a tree right here and go ahead and get one of our little tiny swarms. And I'll probably do that. I'll go ahead and get a wire, hang her right here, and see if we can get a few of these loose bees. And let me do that, and I'll put it on pause and I'll show you. Okay, I had to knock the bees off of it to get the wire through, so then I just set it back up on here to get them started on it. And then what I'll do is, right here, since this was the area that was close, and this hive here is going to be a little bit too packed out anyway, so we can afford to get some of these bees here, and we'll use them in one of our 2 frames, all you need, well, you don't even need any bees on there, but it's how I do it. I get just a handful of bees on there, and then right here close to where the action occurred, I'm just gonna tie this one-handed. Just enough to hold it. Okay. There's my contraption. And these bees here don't know where their queen went. I'll just take this over and shake it right here close to them. They'll find her. I've done this little trick, or whatever you want to call it, little procedure, little technique, I guess, several times this year. It's worked excellent. The hanging queen in the cage, mated queen. And see, there's another reason right there that people should be able to see that these are mated queens, is virgin queens don't cause that much attention. Their pheromones aren't strong enough to cause that much attention. So their pheromones are so weak, they absolutely wouldn't be showing attention to like this. It just doesn't happen. And that should be another reason that people that know bees should know about your queens, and you know why they are several mated queens in a swarm. And that's about it. So we'll let this one hang here. Hopefully the wind will die down a little bit. We'll catch a few of these coming off the ground. They'll come up and they'll look for their queen, and they'll latch onto here. And that's about it in a nutshell. We are right now, and hopefully we got it on the website. If not, we're getting ready to get it on there pretty quick. We're getting ready to take deposits for our 2020 packages. We're going to get the jump and get it out there and get people that's interested in Barnyard Bee packages. We run them longer than anybody I know of this year. And we're still selling Nucs. So anyone that needs any Nucs are local pickup only, of course. Call the store and get yours ordered, and we'll get it together and get it ready to go. But packages for 2020 for spring and next year, if you want to go ahead and get your deposit down on the package, or pay in full, however you like, it's up to you. And don't forget any beekeeping supplies we have, and we'll have queens all the way up through fall. So once we get caught up, we was a little bit slow to begin with because we use all of our queens to do splits and to grow our yard. But after we get caught up, we get in the rhythm and we're fine. And so we have plenty. So we'll have plenty of queens from now, at least up until sometime in September. And beekeeping supplies, don't forget barnyardbees.com. Everything and anything pertaining to beekeeping. I know this video is drawn out long, but please be patient and watch it and share it, because this is a unique situation here that you just don't see very often. And it's really hard to get it caught on camera, because it's just good timing is all it is, and a lot of luck to be able to catch a situation like this, because usually swarms come in, they're hanging in a tree, you shake them down, they get in a box, they kill all the queens, you never know it. And that's why most people think, when they hear about multiple queens, they're like, well, I didn't know that. But they don't know because they've never witnessed it. So, but this right here will prove that without a doubt that that this does exist, and that they are in fact mated queens. They are not virgin queens, absolutely not. And so the video will be long, but just watch it through. It's very important, a lot of good details in it. And don't forget, click on the little bell, help spread our videos, share them. We got an Instagram page we're trying to grow, Facebook page, please go check them out. And that's about it for today. Thanks for watching. Barnyard Bees.